Hey guys, I'm Doctor McFarland, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set the outputs of the HX Stomp to both feed your front of house and your amplifier on stage. Hey guys, welcome back, and I'm glad that you weren't here with me the past hour with me trying to pull my hair out, and I don't have enough hair anyways, of trying to figure out how to send two different signals out of the HX Stomp without using the effects send on the side. So I finally figured it out, and before anything messes up, I'm going to make this video so I can teach myself how to do it again if I ever forget, and hopefully you will learn how to do it as well. So what we have here on my iPhone screen is the HX Stomp, and over here is my Quilter Interblock 45, which if you don't know my current setup and my pedalboard build, be sure to watch the video somewhere up here, and you can check out my signal flow and my initial ideas on how to set this board up. And one of the things I wanted to do was to be able to send a signal to the front of house or a DI or recording interface, whatever, and also send a separate signal minus the impulse response or cab to a power amp and a physical cab, which, like I said, I'm using the Interblock 45 and I'm running it through my 2x12 cab with a vintage 30 and a greenback. So let me show you the screen here and walk you through what I had to do. So first of all, you'll see that I have a few different blocks in here, and we can have up to 8 blocks now on the HX Stomp thanks to the 3.0 update, so that's pretty awesome. And what I actually have is an archetype clean and an archetype lead. I don't have to have two different amp heads in the same preset, but that's just what I'm playing around with right now. So you can see right here that we have a split Y block. And I made that split by inserting a gain block, and I hit him with the action. And you can actually move this to a B path. We have the gain block, it's not on, so the gain is not really doing anything. Though I could technically add some gain to it. Right, I can turn that on, and I can bring this up all the way to plus 12 dB. So that may be an option for something that I can show you here in a second, okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to mainly look at the split Y. You can see I have it panned left 100% and the right 100%. So it's hard pan left and right, okay? Now the mixer side, I have A pan 100 left, and then the B level is set to 12 dB, but I could bring that back down to 0 and just use my gain block to make the gain adjustment. Either way you do it, it shouldn't really matter. The B pan is set to 100% right. Then I have the polarity switch set to normal. Then I have an overall level that I can adjust as well. And that's all for that, okay? Now, what you want to do, let's scroll over here to my Y split. I'm going to press action. And now I'm actually going to move this around. So what's going to happen now is wherever I have the split Y set up, the top row is being sent to my front of house or audio interface. But it'll also be sent to my cab, which I don't want. But I'll prove that by bypassing the IR. Alright, so on the cab microphone, you shouldn't be hearing any impulse response at all, okay? Let me put it back to where it was. And now we're going to be hearing the impulse response in the cabinet. Without. With. So now we can take this a step farther and say, alright, I don't want the reverb or the impulse response going to the cabinet, but I want everything else. So check this out. So here's my reverb. Let me go ahead and turn off my delay for a second. Alright, so now you can hear the cab is totally dry. Let's go back and let's move this over one. So now you're going to hear reverb. You can kind of see where I'm going with this. You can make a really cool wet dry rig. You can have an FR speaker and your cab on stage and have this cool wet dry thing going on if that's what you want to do. Okay, let's take this another step farther and let's turn on the delay. Alright, so check this out. I don't have any delay in the signal going to the cab, but you should be hearing it going to the recording interface right now. Alright, so let's go here. We're going to move it. And now you hear the delay going through the cabinet. So you might have some patches that you have a really long reverb, but you don't want that muddying up the sound on your cab on stage, but you do like a little bit of delay, you know, in the signal path. So it's just really all up to you. I'm going to go another step farther here, and let's put it before my tremolo. Let's turn on the tremolo here. So check this out. We're going to move the splitter right after the tremolo. And let's get really crazy and let's put it before the amp head. So this actually answers a question that I saw on the Helix Facebook group today, and he was wanting to know how to send the full signal to front of house, but then send a dry signal to a recorder or something else, like a direct input for a reamp situation later. And this would be a great example of that, just by setting a B path right before your amp. And you can even have it at the beginning of the chain if you really wanted to. And this would allow you to send two separate paths. And in his case, he may want to use the send on the side to send that separate signal, or you can use the left and right outputs on the back, just like I have it set up right here, and it would work either way. So I'll probably still make a separate video on that just to answer that specific question, but I just wanted to show you the option while I have you here. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I was really confused for at least an hour, and I finally got it figured out. So let me do this. Let me put this back after the amp. Alright, so we should be getting dry signal going to the cab. Now, let's go all the way down to our mixer, and let's turn this B level down. Now check this out. The cab is going to be a little bit quieter. Alright, let's go to our gain. But the gain is all the way up. So I'm wondering if that's actually going to work or not, because I'm not really hearing a big gain difference. Let's bring this gain down even more. Okay. So the gain is doing something in there, which is great. So we'll leave this at 12. And what I'm going to have to do, the master volume here on the Stomp is going to be my send level going to front of house. But the master volume on the amp also controls the volume on the amplifier or going to the cab. So as long as I'm sending a hotter signal going to the cab than I am to the front of house, I should be fine leaving the volume knob about 12 o'clock. And then just adjusting the master volume here on the quilter and that will give me a good stage volume. I'm sending a nice healthy signal to the front of house or my recording interface, and everyone is happy. So I guess if I really needed more juice going to the cab, I could go here and raise up that B level even more, but I think I'm just going to leave the gain block doing its thing. Leave the B level alone. Leave the A level alone. And let me mess with this polarity invert thing. So I don't hear a difference on that, so we're just going to leave it on normal. So what do you think, guys? If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'm just glad I finally got this figured out, because I really didn't want to use the send and return on the side of the unit, because I want to use that for my MS3 and my preamp effects, which is going to include the Rat's Bane, the Tumnus, the Bell, everything inside the MS3, and then that's going to be my effects loop block that I can move anywhere before my amplifier, and I can still have like a wall going on the HX Stomp. I could have a a phase or flange or something like that if I really wanted to. But I'm mainly going to use the Stomp for my post effects like chorus, tremolo, delay, reverb, obviously impulse response, and then the MS3 for everything else in the preamp section. So thanks guys for watching. I know this was a long, chaotic video, but it took me a while to get this figured out, and I'm still kind of confused, but I'm just going to go with it, okay? So thanks guys for watching. I'm Doctor McFarland. I will see you in the next video. Keep rocking.